All right, I wanted to take a look at this software called OBS Studio, and this is something that you can use instead of using some of the other software that we've talked about in class or that we will be talking about, like Camtasia and Panopto. So Camtasia and Panopto you actually have to pay for, and normally if a district wants you to do a lot of flipped lessons, they'll buy one of these two different software, particularly I think Camtasia. We have Panopto at Northern, and that's something that we pay for as well to have that software available to us to use if we want to record presentations. Um, but Open Broadcaster Software, or OBS Studio, is actually a free software that you can download and install on your own computer. So I can click on here, click Windows, and then it downloads the file. And I can double click this executable and run it and install the software for OBS Studio. And then this is what it will look like. Let's see if I can get the right one up here. So this is what it will look like when it does come up, except it won't have any of these elements of display capture in there. So, or any sources, I should say, in here. Sorry, I'm dealing with two screens here, trying to figure this out as I run it on one screen and then record on the other screen. So what you have basically is different scenes, and these are overall setups of multiple recordings and so forth, different sources. And this is mainly the one you'll use. It's just whatever you want to record, right? What sources would you like to record? And then you have this mixer here, some scene transition options here. And I don't hardly ever use any of these scene transitions, and then the controls here. And so when you first get OBS Studio installed, you'll want to check the settings and kind of look at what the settings are like. It will ask you to have an auto setup wizard experience if you want to the first time you install it, which is fine. You can go through and check it, but I just use the settings here. Number one is output, and I look for the recording quality that I want to output. I look for where it's going to send the recording when it's done, because this is going to record my screen. And I want to know where it's going to send the video file when it's done, and then I look for the recording format. And here the default is FLV, flash video, which is not very compatible with a lot of systems these days. So what we want to change this default to is MP4, probably is a better encoding. And you'll see some warnings down here. It might say, okay, well, you know, it might be hard on your computer, or recording save might not be recoverable if you can't finalize the material. In other words, if you go beyond maybe the size of your hard drive to record with. So you want to be careful with some of those things, but yeah, I've found pretty good success as long as I have some hard drive space, plenty of hard drive space to record with this MPEG-4 format or MP4 format. And that's very compatible. I can upload the final videos that it saves. What it does is it records your screen, you know, and then it saves it to a place on your computer, and then you can just upload that file that it saves to somewhere like YouTube to share it. And then audio you can check as well, and just the video formats and so forth, but I think that's all I need to check for this one. And then if I am ready to record, I just first need to choose the sources that I would like to record. So I can hit this plus button to add a source in this box here, so that it knows what to record. So I'll start with a display capture, and it'll ask you to add an existing one, which I don't have any existing ones yet, and so I'm going to go ahead and create new, and I'll choose which display that I want to capture basically, and I can change it to capturing the cursor or not and so forth, but I'll hit OK, and I've got a display capture. So now it's going to capture what's on this current display. And also I'm going to go to audio input capture and create a new audio, because I want it to be able to hear my voice, right? I want to be able to hear my voice. So instead of choosing device default, I'm going to choose the headset that I'm currently on, which is a Logitech wireless headset, and then hit OK. So now it's set up to record what it sees on the display here, on the main display, and it's also set up to record an audio input capture item. So, or my voice, for instance. So now if I was going to record, I would just hit start recording, and then whatever I would do on my screen, it will record. Let's go ahead and do that. Start recording. I'm recording. I can show the studio side. I can go to another website. go back. And then when I'm done, I just simply go back to OBS Studio and I choose Stop Recording. And then I can exit OBS Studio and I'm done. So what that will do is actually save that file in the location that we checked. So in this case, I'm checking the location. I'm checking my videos library because that's where it said it would save the file. And I can see that there is a video here, 8:36:16. And right here this is the video that I have recorded. Start recording, I'm recording. I can show the studio side, I can go to another website. So basically it has my voice and it shows the computer screen, and that's the video file. So what would I do with this in order to share with students? Well, I would take this file and I would either upload it to my learning management system, whether that's Google Classroom or D2L or something else, or I can upload it to YouTube and just give students the link to where it sits online. And so that's OBS Studio in a nutshell. It's a great recording tool, really. It helps to do a lot with your recording. There's no limit as far as time goes, so you can record as long as you want. There's not really editing options, but who has the time to go through and edit all of your recordings anyway? It's hard to do that. I think that it's hard to find time to be able to go through and edit everything. So if you do make a mistake, the best thing probably is to just fix that mistake on the fly as you're editing or as you're recording. But you could, I suppose, take this into this MP4 video that it records into some kind of editing software like Windows Movie Maker or iMovie on the Mac, and do some editing if you really wanted to pop some things in there or change something that you really made a mistake on. Another good thing about it is it is free and open source, so that's, you get what you pay for, but it's actually pretty good for what you pay for it, which is nothing. So, and I know that the Aberdeen School District has been using OBS Studio for recording lectures or presentations, or encouraging their using of this because it is free. I mean, it's hard to beat free sometimes. It may not be as user-friendly as some other software, but once you get the hang of it, hopefully from this video, then you'll be able to figure out what to do with OBS Studio.